guys, it's Olivia, editing the video that I posted the other day in my bedroom, today on Thursday, and, sorry that I left you guys on a massive cliffhanger in my last video. I don't know what happened. Basically, I suck at YouTube right now because I'm still learning. This is a learning curve. Did not mean to leave you on a cliffhanger, and I just figured I'd give you a little apology really fast before I post the second part of this video, which I didn't know this was going to be a two-parter video, but it is now. So here's the second part of my ranking books worst to best by Sarah J. Maas edition. Also, I'm really sorry for how freaking shaky my camera is. I'm just filming this on in my bed with my hand, so it's really bad quality. But sorry about the cliffhanger. Didn't mean to leave y'all on such a high cliffhanger with, I rank my books and you wanted to know third, second, and first place. So I do apologize for that. Did not mean for that to happen. So here is the rest of your video. Sorry that I suck at YouTube. Okay guys, we're getting into the big leagues now. Woo! Okay. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this ranking, but please don't hate me. Number 3 in my Sarah J. Maas ranking list goes to A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Now, I know what you're thinking. All of you big ACOTAR fans out there, and those of you who discovered ACOTAR over Book Talk.
I'm sorry. This one ranks number 3 for me. It does. You probably are all thinking this book is number 1. It deserves to be number 1.
And I'll be honest, this book rocks. This book blows minds.
This book makes me reconsider every decision I've ever made in my entire life. It makes me want to go be a fae and go live in the forest and have some man come and kidnap me and take me back to his High Lord's court.
I consider it at least 7 times a day. This book has so much emotional depth in it. I am obsessed with the emotional depth in this book. This book talks about so many personal and very harsh and deep and struggles that people go through. It talks about abuse, it talks about depression, it talks about anxiety, it talks about fear. I feel like this book is so beautiful with the way that it was crafted. And I'll be honest, this is one of the best romances that I've ever read because of the way that these two people come together.
Marion, my darling, I love you more than life itself.
Their relationship, it's Feyre and
Spoiler alert, if you're still watching this is a huge spoiler alert.
Rhysand, I know you probably weren't expecting it, with Feyre and Rhysand's relationship. I'm speechless. Sarah J. Maas crafts one of the most epic romances ever through this book. I think that it's so interesting that she was able to show a person, Feyre, in such a deep-seated depression and in a point where she no longer wanted to exist, essentially, and then just get brought back to life through the people and through Rhysand and through her experiences in this story. She was brought back to the person that she never was and never could be in those original books. And the emotional depth of this book and the pain that you feel for her and you feel for him, Rhysand as well, and his okay, I will be honest also, the emotional abuse that this man and physical abuse that he went through under the mountain, and when he talks about it, it breaks my heart. And I love that it's talked about and that his pain is valid and that her pain is valid, and they make their pain valid to each other and they talk about things, and it's I think it's an incredible story. It's an amazing book. I think it's the best one in her ACOTAR series by far. I definitely think that A Court of Mist and Fury is her strongest one by far. But my gosh, it's just incredible. It's literally incredible. And that's why it ranks number 3 in my Sarah J. Maas ranking. Number 2. And you guys might not be expecting which one's going to come out next, but this one right now is my number 2. And my number 2 in my ranking system is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. And now this book came out last March, and I'm sorry, I'm speechless. This is one of the best books I have ever read, period. This goes in my top 10 best things I've ever read. I am obsessed with this book. She decided to do a new adult urban fantasy. So this is a new adult book, as is the ACOTAR series. This is not for like my younger readers. This is definitely for a more mature audience. But this book was glorious. It was passionate, enticing, just magical, ethereal. Like,
I was so moved by the story in this book.
now this is kind of like a murder mystery thriller slash urban fantasy kind of thing, and slash romance. And it is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I wept over this book. I was sobbing practically the entire time because it moved me so much, the kind of relationship that she built. Once again, I think Sarah J. Maas does a really great job of displaying like healing and like overcoming depression and overcoming grief. This book was all about the grief of people we've lost, and like what it means, like will we see them again, and the grief of like just living in a life without them. And that was something that was so beautiful and painful, was like that Hunt and Bryce both discovered together, is how painful it is to live without the people that you love, and how like you want to live for them, but also you don't want to live without them. And it's so beautiful. And Hunt and Bryce's relationship is everything in this book. Their romance is devastating, absolutely like enthralling. You want to be them. They're the way that they build this like relationship together. And one of the reasons why I love this book so much is because it feels real. Because it's kind of an urban fantasy, many of the situations that they get put in, and many of the situations, the things that they talk about, feel like real life, and they feel like conversations that you would have with someone that was like your partner or your companion at the time. Like, I loved how real it was, and it felt like genuine. And I'm obsessed with this book. I sobbed over every single page of this book. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It is incredible. Everyone should read it. And that is why Crescent City ranks number 2 on my Sarah J. Maas ranking list. And now for the big finale, my number 1 best ranked book in the Sarah J. Maas ranking goes to, drum roll please, Empire of Storms from the Throne of Glass series, which is book number 5 in that series. Empire of Storms. And you're probably thinking, for those of you who have read Throne of Glass and ACOTAR and all the books, you're thinking, why Empire of Storms?
I am obsessed with this book.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Empire of Storms is the most superior book to me. This book rocked my world.
I want you to rock me.
This book gave me everything that I wanted and more. I was awestruck by the things that occurred in this book.
I was blown away by the emotional capacity of Rowan and Aylin's relationship. I was moved to tears by Lorcan and Iliad's moments together. This book has one of the most
Jaw-dropping, heartbreaking, knife-stabbing cliffhanger / endings of all time.
I was devastated. Like, devastated. I mourned, cried through this book over and over and over again. It gave me one of the biggest heart attacks of my life. I've never had a book scare me so bad, like an ending, like scare me and hurt me in a way that this book did that. Like, this book does not end nice. This book is not nice to you. She is mean. She'll chew you up and spit you out mean kind of a book.
Oh, are we playing a game where everyone says something stupid?
Like, I was so shook. I don't think I've ever had a book shock me so much as Empire of Storms did. I think that the connections that were made in this book are gorgeous. This is the pinnacle where everything goes wrong and you're just not expecting, and you're like, how are they ever going to recover from this?
I am never going to financially recover from this.
This book, like, oh, it broke my heart. This one just like, it ripped me open and pulled my soul out. I just wanted to die. Like,
after reading this one. But this one, I've never had a book shock me in a way like that before, where I was so emotionally devastated about an ending that I was struck dumb. Like, I just was like, I can't believe this is like where we're at. This book like changed my whole world and my whole perspective on what reading could be and what it can turn into, and the capacity that a person can have to feel emotions for people who don't even exist. And that is why this ranks #1 on best books in the Sarah J. Maas history of literature. There, I said it.
Skadoosh.
Here is the full ranking of every single one of my books, from best to worst at the bottom. But if we're being honest, they're all amazing. If we're being honest, they're all my favorite. And if we're also being honest, I would rank all of these so high on my reading list for anyone to read. If I had to pick a favorite out of all 3 of the series, I couldn't tell you. I really can't. Every day it changes for me. I love all 3 of them, like all 3 of her series deeply, and I think that she's a very talented author. But this is my ranking. If you don't like it, oh well, it's what I think. But if you do agree with some of it, feel free to comment down below. Or if you're saying like, I'd probably switch a couple of those around. Totally understandable. Like, everyone has their favorites from her books, or maybe she's not your favorite at all, but I love her and I think she's great. But thank you guys so much again for watching. I'm so grateful for all of you. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and a like and comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends. It's been such a joy filming videos for you guys, and I cannot wait to keep filming more. Thank you so much for 50 subscribers on my channel. I am so thrilled and so happy that all of you are following the channel and enjoying living in literature. Thank you guys so much, and I hope that you guys have a great day. Bye! Sick.
Ooh, no!